Hey, I'm about to show you what I eat on a day doing alternate day fasting. And I primarily eat low carb, high protein, but remember it's not keto. And I also have some flexibility in there because I do alternate day fasting 36 to 40 hours. And right now, I'm about at the 24-hour mark. And that's when I start prepping my meals for the next day. So luckily, tomorrow's not super busy. So I'm going to make a lot of meals as I go, but I'm at least going to be prepping one or two items this evening. Number one is going to be some chia seed pudding. Been eating chia seed pudding for a couple weeks. However, I'm going to try a different recipe. So you're going to see this come together at the same time that I do, and hopefully tomorrow it tastes good. And then tomorrow you get to see all of the other items as I make them and as I try them. And hopefully my goal is to be trying some new stuff so I can let you know how it comes together, how it tastes. So let's go. We're ready to prep the chia seed pudding, and I'm making apple pie inspired chia seed pudding. And I have for the apples, what I have here is some great value apple filling or topping, and it's sweetened with sucralose. And it is 8 grams of carbs per 1/3 cup. So I am probably going to use around a half a cup, which I already have measured out here. You can see this looks like normal apple pie filling, but of course we know it's not sweetened with sugar, so it makes it a bit lower in carbs. So for the actual base of the chia seed pudding, what I use is a half a cup of almond milk. So I should have said that, not chia seeds. Half a cup of almond milk, and I'm using this silk unsweetened almond milk if you choose to make chia seed pudding. Of course, you can use whatever milk that you want. And then I use 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. This really seems to be the right ratio. I've made chia seed pudding in the past, and this is the best kind of ratio that I found that makes it the consistency that I like. Now, I will say, because of the recipe I'm making, I did use a little bit more almond milk, a little bit more than a half a cup, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to put these chia seeds to the side. I'm going to put a couple of these apples. It's a half a cup of apples. I'm going to use like probably a little bit in the almond milk, blend it up with some cinnamon and some vanilla extract. So that's what I'm going to do to give this milk, which I'm going to, of course, pour in the chia seeds, that apple pie type of flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. And I want to mention, I'm saving some of the apple pie filling or topping to put on the top of the chia seeds tomorrow when I eat them. So when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and have everything all blended up. Again, I'm just this with a little bit of this milk, with a little bit of this cinnamon, and then also some of this vanilla extract. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it all in right now. Just a little bit of vanilla extract, not too much. I'm going to go ahead and blend this up and then put it into the chia seed pudding. The apples and the cinnamon and the vanilla all blended up. It smells really good. So I'm just going to pour that in. And what I have been doing to really try to get everything even with the chia seed pudding, if you make chia seed pudding, you know that you can have clumps, and I don't want those big clumps. So I just kind of add in little by little the almond milk mixture. So that's what I'm going to do now. So what I also want to mention is that I'm going to add in some of this cheese, Jello cheesecake zero sugar mix. I'm going to add only around a tablespoon, a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon. That also helps this thicken up. And so I'm going to get the rest of this prepared off camera, and then we'll see this again tomorrow right before I eat it. And I'm going to put on different toppings, and you'll see how it set up through the evening in the fridge overnight. See how everything's set up. So you can already see it really doesn't take long to start firming up. And I can see one of these blended apple chucks didn't blend all the way up, but that's all right. It's just gonna add flavor. It'll be all right. So let me get this all prepped and put it in the fridge, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm prepping one more item that I think I want tomorrow, which will save me some time, which is this keto bread, and it's made with eggs, almond flour. It calls for olive oil, but I'm replacing the olive oil with this light mayo, and then there's also some baking powder. And so that is all in this bowl. The recipe is 1 egg, 3 tablespoons of almond flour, and half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now, I switched it up a little bit, so let me tell you what I did. I did 2 eggs, around 3.5 tablespoons um, of almond flour, a little over a tablespoon of the light mayo, and then a little over a tablespoon. No, just a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon of baking powder. That's all I use. But I did a little differently, and I tried something similar the other day with this recipe, and it turned out fine. And so I'm going to put this in the microwave for around 90 seconds, and then I'm going to come back and show you how it turns out. If you have a problem with the microwave, maybe you want to try to put it in the oven. Also, if you really want to focus on whole foods, you can remove that mayo and just use the olive oil. So I'll be back when this is done. This is what the bread looks like coming out of the microwave. And of course, I mixed it all up in the bowl that it was in, and I cooked it in the bowl that it was in as well. So, what I'm going to do is cut it in the middle so that, we can actually make this into a bun. And so, I made this the other day. And what I like about this is that it really acts as a bun and holds everything together. I've made some versions of keto bread that didn't do as well as this bread does. And I also want to say about the recipe, which I am going to put it in the caption so that you can follow. Um, is that I did this is calorie dense, and I'm gonna eat the chia seed pudding and put nuts on top, and I'll have this tomorrow as well. So I put that mayo, that light mayo in there just to save on the calories. As although I do not count calories, y'all, I still try to save on calories when I can. Especially when I'll have a day like tomorrow, so I cut a little deep, so there is a small hole there. That won't be a problem though. And like this is pretty, like I say, this holds up. This really does hold up. Um, and then if I didn't cut as deep, that wouldn't be an issue. And it also, I think, is based on the way that it cooked. But again, I will have this tomorrow. Um, I think I'll have it tomorrow, but we shall see. But that does give you another recipe you can use for keto bread. Hey y'all, it's the next morning and I am hungry. I'm 38 hours fasted and I'm ready to eat, okay? So I am going to try to put together a meal as quickly as possible, but it's still going to be about 30 minutes because what I have here is these palmini noodles. They're made out of hearts of palm. I did get the angel hair because I've made these before, and I feel like the angel hair hopefully will get a little bit more tender. These are 20 calories per serving, 4 carbs per serving, but they have 2 grams of fiber. So if you are just doing a net carbs, that will be 2 net carbs. So these are pretty low in calories, low in carbs. And so you could eat the whole pack if you wanted to, but I probably won't have the whole pack. So I've been soaking these for probably a couple hours now, and I am going to boil them for at least 30 minutes because I've done that before. Once they start boiling, I'm going to put in some of this Better Than Bouillon chicken base just to start adding in layers of flavor. And I'm going to do an Asian, it's not focusing, but I'm going to do an Asian inspired preparation and add in the shredded chicken that I have. So shredded chicken already prepped. And then I'm going to, in terms of the sauce, I'm going to start off with this General Tso sauce. And then, maybe flavor that up with a little bit more soy sauce. I will layer in flavors as I see fit. Again, just an Asian inspired preparation of chicken noodle dish, and I might add in some onions and peppers. So that's what I'm going to put together. I'm going to boil the noodles, and once the noodles are boiled, I'm just going to maybe, like I said, add in some onions and peppers and get that sauce going, and then I'll come back and show you how it turns out. I'm going to finish preparing the chia seed pudding while the palmini noodles continue to boil because I want those to get really tender. And I'm going to have the chia seed pudding for dessert. So I'm going to top this, and I've already tasted it, and it is really, really good as is. But I do want it to have some texture. So I'm going to go ahead and top it with these chopped pecans, a little bit of this apple cinnamon granola, and maybe some of the apples, but I don't think it needs much more. So, and it's not a lot of apples, so maybe I should just go ahead and put all the apples. And then I'll show you everything when it's finally put together with all of the toppings. And I know it's going to be delicious because it's already good, you guys. You see, I already had a little bit out of here. This is the chia seed pudding with the toppings. Again, I went in and tasted a little bit. It is super delicious. I love having the toppings on. It is so refreshing. It has the apple pie flavor. It is so refreshing because of how it's chilled. And then you have the crunch of the nuts and the granola. And then coming back in with some of the fresh, or not fresh, but the apples, the topping apples that can use as topping or filling. So this is good. This is it. If you want apple pie, you got a taste for apple pie, but you're still trying to keep it somewhat low carb. This does have, of course, more carbs than if you go on keto, but if you want low carb but something still that will put you in the mind of apple pie, this is good. I would go with this. Y'all, it is time for me to eat my first meal, and I already tasted it. It is delicious. So that is the palmini noodles, and they were good before I already put them with the chicken, and there's some peppers and onions in there that I sauteed. They were good before that. And then of course it's that General Soul sauce, because I put that better than bouillon in them, and I let them boil for like 45. They were boiling, and then I put them on like a low to medium heat for about 40 or so minutes, and put some onion powder and garlic powder in them. I could have ate them just like that. But of course I went ahead and added in some protein and some more flavor with that General Soul sauce, and then the onions and peppers. And this is delicious. This is simply delicious. I will be having this again. Mm. And I will say, if you want to add a little bit more heat to, you could do hot sauce. You could do that. I got some chili onion oil I could put on here. You can do some red pepper flakes, just to add a little bit more dimension, but it's good. So this is meal one. I'm also gonna have the chia seed pudding after this, and then I hope to see you for meal two. And I say that I will see you for meal two, but I don't know how many meals I'm going to eat today. So I'm hoping to get 3 meals in so I can show you 3 meals that I would have. But sometimes I only eat 2 meals because, yeah, it is what it is. So y'all can see I'm getting a little moist. So it's a little warm in this kitchen. I'm going to get out of here, eat my first meal, and I'll be back for meal two. Hey y'all, so let's go ahead and get into the second meal I'm gonna have today. I'm gonna have a turkey Reuben. I'm gonna do open face. Remember that keto bread that I showed you that I made yesterday? That's what I'm gonna use. It makes a very good handheld sandwich. However, I'm doing an open face because it is really filling. So last time I made it, I ate the whole thing. Super filling. You can eat it for like breakfast, and it'll hold you for several hours. So, anyways, gonna make that sandwich. And if you made it this far, are you not subscribed? Go ahead. Support this channel. Subscribe. My name is Nikki Harper. I am a wellness coach, and I am an advocate in supporting women and creating the lives that they want to live. And so, beyond working with clients, I really like to add value by sharing information and doing videos like this. So go ahead and subscribe. But with that, let's go ahead and get into this second meal. I made a lot of stuff off camera, so this doesn't get too long, but you're gonna again see how it all comes together, and I will talk you through what the things I did make off camera. So let's go ahead and get into this turkey, open faced turkey Reuben sandwich. For the sandwich, I'm going to be using this keto almond bread. I'm only going to use one half. I'm going to put it in the oven just so that it gets a little bit of a crust on there, gets more texture. And I'm going to use, I think, the thicker half. I'm going to hopefully save this other half for like a dessert after dinner. So putting this in the oven to get toasted. I got these turkey deli slices. I'll probably use only two, maybe two and a half. And then I'm going to put this pan fry these. I'm going to go ahead, pan fry these, get a little color on them, put this thin slice with cheese on top. As far as the sauces, I am a sauce girl. So gotta have the toppings, gotta have the coleslaw. So coleslaw already made. Put some onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt on that, with some pepper, and then use this sugar-free coleslaw dressing. And then I made my own Thousand Island dressing, and that was with some light mayo, some sugar-free ketchup, some dill relish, and then onion powder, garlic powder, a tiny little bit of mustard, and some pickle juice in there. So yeah, that is how the Thousand Island dressing was made. So let me go ahead, get the bread toasted, put all the components together, and now come back on camera to let you see how I put it together, how it turns out. The almond bread toasted up really nicely. So I primarily toasted it on one side and just a little bit on the other. So let's go ahead and put this together. Let me also show you the turkey slices. So just pan seared those turkey slices, and then put that thinly sliced Swiss cheese over well, I did two and a half slices. So two of the slices have a full slice of cheese, and then the half slice. So let's go ahead and start with putting the dressing, the Thousand Island dressing, kind of putting that down as the base. So there we go. And I think the bread too, I want to mention, it feels like it is pretty moist. I did change up the recipe a little bit more than in terms of what I did last time. So I put that mayo in there. I think that may have added the needed moisture. So we shall see. I'm gonna go ahead and just put these turkey slices on here. Yeah, just like that, just like that. Come on now. And this is just gonna be simple. I'm gonna eat it with a fork and a knife, and we're gonna call that lunch. And last thing is to put on this coleslaw. Putting on the coleslaw. I really love having like coleslaw for the crunch and just having something refreshing with lunch, especially in the summer. Let me let you see that. So there it is. That is my open face turkey Reuben. I'm going to go ahead. I think you could probably go ahead and pick it up. But yeah, like I said, this bread is, nice and thick, holds together. But I'm not going to be picking that up. I am going to go ahead and eat it with a fork and knife. Hey y'all, so I have made it to meal 3, and I'm gonna make this quick because I just got back from a walk. I am sweaty and I want to jump in the shower and then have my last meal. So I do have some wings baking in the oven. I have some wing dings, like the little pieces. So I got 7 wing dings, they're baking. I'll probably have around 3 for dinner, and I also did not finish my lunch. That was the open face Reuben. So if this tastes good cold because it was in the fridge, I'll have this, and then again those 2 to 3 wing dings. So that will be my meal 3. I wanted to make dessert, but I am not really hungry enough to have dessert, and I do need to close out my eating window because it's getting a little later. So I got you. I got you in another video on making a low carb dessert. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me if there is a meal that you want to see me make a low carb version of. Also, any meals that you like. What was your favorite meal that I made throughout my day today? And so that is it, you guys. I'm going to make sure that I show you how my wings came out. It's just wings, but I'll show you how my wings came out. Because since I told you I was going to tell you everything I ate today, so that I'll show you that. And then this is it. Thank you for spending some time with me. And if you need any support in losing weight, I have a free guide. You can join my Facebook group for support. And if you are really ready for coaching, I work with women who are overwhelmed and overweight. If you're really ready for coaching, please schedule a session with me. It's a free call where we can talk about what your journey has been and how I may be able to support you. So that's it, you guys. And remember, it's not about being nice. It's about being kind. And you got to be kind to yourself before you're kind to anyone else.
Wings just got out of the oven, so I'm going to have 2 or 3 of these. I'll let them cool off first. I may have the other half of that sandwich as well, and that is my third meal. That is dinner. Again, thanks for joining me for what I eat in a day, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.